We got to go to Sunnybrook Veterans Centre. Premier Doug Ford is there making some remarks. Let's listen in live. Oh, Courtney Heels is there. Pardon me. I thought we were going to be listening to the Premier. Courtney, sorry. Good morning.
Hey, that's okay. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Jennifer. That's right. So right now, Premier Doug Ford meeting with some veterans who live here at the Veterans Centre at Sunnybrook Hospital. We can't really make out what he's saying. We're a little bit of a ways back, but this is an opportunity for the Premier and some other members of provincial parliament to show their respects, to have a conversation with some of the veterans. There are 3 veterans who have come outside for this conversation. So as I say, this is just happening right now. We also know the Premier will be walking along the sidewalk where we are and speaking with some members who are currently serving or who have served. Again, paying respects here at Veterans, this Veterans Centre at Sunnybrook. This is such an incredible facility. Here on the grounds, they have about 30,000 flags. This operation, Raise a Flag. They're raising money for some of the resources and support services for people who are living here. This year, they have the flags out, some of the flags just along the lawn here. And many of the veterans waking up and they see these flags on the grass. And it's really just in honor of them, an opportunity for them to see that people are so grateful for their contributions and, of course, to pay respects to them. So, again, you can see the Premier here at Sunnybrook Hospital shaking hands with people who are serving or who have currently served for our freedom. This following a meeting with a couple of the veterans who live here. There are about 200 veterans who live within this centre, guys. And, again, later today, just after 10 o'clock this morning, they'll have this ceremony inside. And we know following that, they'll be walking over to the cenotaph on the grounds here at the hospital. So we are just walking along as well as the Premier pays his respects. Also next to the coat of arms here on the ground of the Veterans Centre. We understand he'll be putting a couple of flags down himself. You likely will see on the grounds the flags are a little bit damaged. This has to do with some of the weather we experienced in the last 24 hours in the Greater Toronto area. But volunteers have been incredibly busy here, along with staff members putting the flags out on the lawn. Again, 30,000 flags. This is something they've been doing for 13 years at Sunnybrook Hospital. Members of the community come out, staff members, again, doing this all as a way to pay their respects. And people can go online through Sunnybrook Hospital and you can make a donation on behalf of one of the flags, and the money goes to support things. For example, this year they're working on raising money for a gym, so a fitness center for some of the veterans who live here, along with a library, different therapies, that sort of thing. And you can see now Premier Doug Ford just putting a couple of flags in front of the coat of arms here in front of the Veterans Centre. So any of the veterans who are still inside, and it is quite cool, and we know the ceremony is taking place inside, but they look out the window and they see these flags. It's quite remarkable, and again really speaks to the fact that so many people are thinking of people who paid the ultimate price and fought for our freedom. This is Canada's largest veterans residence, and as I say, about 200 people who live here. They get specialized care. Their families are well supported here. The staff are remarkable. I mean, we had a chance to speak with the medical director not that long ago who gave us an opportunity to hear more about what the good work that they do here. So we're just moving along as the Premier continues to meet with members who are serving, and we're just walking along as well. This is a very quick visit for the Premier, guys. He's off to Queen's Park. We will, of course, be at Queen's Park later this afternoon as part of the Remembrance Day ceremony, but this is a chance to stop by this incredibly important facility and pay respects.
Court, as you're talking, maybe we could just remind our viewers there about, this is Operation Raise a Flag. Typically, there's a beautiful lawn full of flags all standing up, but really the weather last night has had an impact on the sort of presentation this morning in a sense. Yeah, so this is something that the hospital has been doing for 13 years now outside of the Veterans Centre. So volunteers, staff members, the night before they go outside, they put the flags on the lawn here of the hospital. They, of course, with hopes that people will come out and look outside. But yes, to your point, we had some very strong winds and rain overnight, so it looks a little bit different, of course, but you can still see the flags. And I know, it's the memory that means so much to people who live here. And, we talked to some of the veterans just yesterday, and they were talking about how special it is. And we've also heard that from staff members, just seeing, the smiles on their faces. And this is, of course, a very emotional day for so many of our veterans. So following this meet and greet, I guess you could say, with the Premier and some members who are serving, he will be off to Queen's Park taking part in a ceremony there. And then here at Sunnybrook Hospital, they'll be having the ceremony inside. Of course, this is to protect our veterans who are of course, a little bit older, and you have to keep their health in mind. They'll be moving over to the cenotaph a little bit later on at around 11 o'clock, and members of the public are welcome to join in on this incredibly important ceremony. So we're going to see if perhaps we can get a chance to speak with the Premier too. Of course, his priority right now is meeting with people, but we're going to stand on the sidewalk here and see if perhaps we can get a chance to say hello and get in a quick question.
Court, just while we wait.
It's going to be a busy morning for sure.
Yeah, while we wait, Court, and I'm keeping an eye on this shot as well, just because I realize if you're going to get a word in, we don't want to interrupt that. But have you seen sort of the faces of many veterans looking out the windows, or have any of them actually ventured out to sort of take a look at all the flags out in front of where they're living?
I actually haven't, and the reason for that, Nick and Jen, is because most of the residents are at the back of the building. I asked the medical director about this. I asked, could we maybe, see some of the veterans as they walk to the window and see, and most of them at the back. Some of them still, waking up. I've also been told quite a few veterans who live here are putting on their uniforms and getting ready, because this, of course, is such an important day. We are taking a moment to reflect, to think of these incredibly important contributions that our veterans have made. So this is an emotional day, and for some, it will be a bit of a slower start. So I haven't had a chance to see any veterans. See if I can squeeze in here. Good morning, Premier.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you for taking a few minutes to speak with
you.
us. What was your message to the veterans here at Sunnybrook Hospital?
Well, I want to thank them. I want to thank them for their service, and the stories are incredible, how they sacrificed, and some the ultimate sacrifice, to protect our freedoms and our democracies. And we can never, ever forget, and make sure our kids are educated about the sacrifices, and the reason why we have a free country today is because of their sacrifices. But it's pretty remarkable. I just want to thank Andy Smith and the whole team at Sunnybrook for doing this year after year, and having the Veterans Hospital here is really incredible.
They do such incredible work. I know your government recently announced free rides on Go Transit for members who serve for veterans. Is there anything else your government's working on to better support veterans?
Well, we're supporting the Legions in a very big way. I think I'm a big fan of Legions. I belong to a Legion, and you don't have to be part of a military family to support and belong to a Legion. I encourage people to go out there, because I know Legions, some of the population, they're getting a little older. We want younger people to join the Legion as well. They do incredible work around our province.
Premier, thank you so much. I
thank
appreciate
you
your
so
time,
much.
sir.
Thank you.
We'll see you at Queen's Park later.
Thank you.
So the Premier off to Queen's Park following this visit here at Sunnybrook Hospital. So I believe he's going inside now, a chance to speak with some of the staff members, some other veterans who are inside. Just 3 steps outside, Nick and Jennifer, that opportunity to speak with the Premier's office. So this was very quick. And of course, we have to be very careful, mindful, ensure that, the veterans are safe and warm. It is a little bit cooler outside. Following this, we do know there will be the ceremony inside starting at 10 o'clock, and just after 11 o'clock, the procession over to the cenotaph. Over to you.
Absolutely. Okay, it is always a remarkable scene, and I can't wait till they come out to that cenotaph later during our Remembrance Day special. Courtney Hills, live at Sunnybrook Veterans Centre this morning. Appreciate all this coverage, Court. Thank you.